Hi lovies, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another monthly magic. If you are new here, hi, my name is Janine and we do a really nice witchy planning breakdown of every month around this time. I try my hardest to do it before the first of the month, but as things happen, I'm uploading this probably around the 2nd because this week was wild. But I would love for you to stick around and let me tell you what this video is all about if you are new here. So we go through my notes. I have always a laundry list of things to talk about. So we start with the month's keyword, and then we talk about the important dates of the month, like astrology-wise, Sabbath, Esbits. Like as a practitioner, what do I think are the important dates that I'm going to follow? And if you find that resonates with you, then perfect. Then we will go on to the god or goddess that I choose for the month to highlight, and we'll talk about those, the lore behind them, and see if they jive with you and you can incorporate them into this month's magical practices. We do spell work, activities, crystals, herbs, like colors, all those fun things. So if that is interesting to you and you want to witchy plan with the rest of our awesome community, then keep on watching. All right, like I mentioned, there's I always type this out and I'll be referring to this. There's a lot of information. I can't possibly remember everything. So if you are a channel member tonight, I usually post the day of when these air. So that'll be in the channel's grimoire. That will be up tonight. So let's get started. Important dates. All right, so the first, Imbolc. Blessed Imbolc. I feel like this year, 2023, is going to be an amazing year for us. And Imbolc, to me at least, is like that really good time to, the keyword. I'm just like so jazzed today. Like I'm just in such a great mood. I had such a crap week. I'm so happy to be on with you guys. But all right, so February's keyword is momentum, and you will find out in a little bit. But again, with Imbolc, using that momentum. Last month, we talked about still keeping it wound down, right? We're still kind of coming off the cusps of Yule, and I felt it just really isn't the best way to just go guns kind of blazing with this. I think last month we needed that extra time to just keep researching, find our transformation, kind of be subject matter experts in the things that we want to do and the goals that we want to set. So I feel like having about 2 months of steady research and just knowing before releasing those intentions is a perfect time now to kind of gain that momentum, gain that stamina, and start putting things into the universe, right? Like start putting things into place, and it's the perfect time. It's the time to kind of take that inner light, right, from Imbolc, from inside, that inner light, and start bringing it out. The ground is awakening. The sun is giving us that extra energy, that oomph to kind of now it's time to kickstart the year. And I'm really excited. I had a great Imbolc yesterday, and I hope that you did too. So for the 4th is like a Leo fueled day. So what I love to do when a day like this, especially in February, is to really consecrate our tools. So on the 4th is a great day with that strength, with that passion of that Leo energy to really get the drawers out of your altar and do a little spring cleaning, but specifically to consecrate your tools. And I will create a video about how to do that with salt, essential oils, herbs, things like that. So really Monthly Magick too, again, for those who are new, is a really nice kind of snapshot of what I will be offering this month. So one of the things that we'll do is I'll show you probably on a Witchy Wednesday next week of how simple ways of how to consecrate your tools. But the 4th, perfect day to do that. Then we have the 5th, the snow moon in Leo. And I love that it's called snow moon because it's still acknowledging, though the ground is being heated up, at least in my area, that it's still snowing. It's still very much cold. And so now the full moon brings major accomplishments this full moon. Did you do your research? Do you feel accomplished in your efforts? That's like the number one thing. Do you feel that you are ready to go and you have all that you need to kind of put those plans in motion? Let's gain momentum and start putting goals into action. So that's what I have written down here. Time for the big reveal. So that's what I mean. And I have something that I've been brewing too. So around full moon, I'm going to do that. I'm going to release a new project that I've been working on, but I suggest that you guys do that too. Give a teaser. If you have been working on a project, do a coming soon. Create a video if you're a content creator of like some things that you've been working on. I feel that the full moon is the perfect time to not full in, but start to just put those in action and get those reveals. Say, okay, this is what I've been working on. Here is an Instagram post. Here is a teaser on YouTube. Like, really get people jazzed, and they will be, because you've been working so hard on it, and the knowledge that you know of your own material is going to shine through, because you don't want to release any projects or anything new not fully understanding, right? And I feel like a lot of us practitioners, we want to go head on into things without really fully understanding what we're getting into. So this is what I mean. So if you really feel that you've learned all that you can about what you're trying to achieve, then the full moon is let's go, let's do it. And I'm right here with you. So I'm really excited to also kind of showcase new products and new ideas. So let's go, let's do this. So also on the 5th, we have all planets direct, which is like, again, like even with the Leo moon, with that, just that straight ambition and that momentum is in full force. We have all planets direct, which is awesome. Then we have Saturn and Pluto starting a new cycle, which hasn't been done in centuries. So like I'm trying still to learn astrology. I feel like astrology and being and learning that path is a forever thing. It's, you know, you'll never be the full expert of astrology. There's something always that you can learn. But I know that that hasn't happened in centuries. So having something like planets going into a new cycle, I think the last time, centuries, is a really cool thing. It's things that in our lifetime we can say that we've witnessed, which is fun. So the Pluto, planet of power, is going into Aquarius, which is a sign of freedom, logic, the people. So I would definitely see probably more rebellion or more people that are in power, or just larger groups speaking their thoughts, and more marches, more things that are maybe strikes, things that are the people, and things that mean freedom. And it's really, when you have those two passionate things, a lot can happen. So if you are feeling that connection from Pluto with Aquarius, then also journal that. How do you feel about these? Like, are you feeling that you need to speak against something that you feel strongly about? Do that around the full moon. Perfect timing. And then, of course, just to reiterate that we are in Leo. Leo is a fixed fire, sense of leadership, love, warmth, creativity, honesty, pride, integrity. So Saturn is moving into Pisces, which is beginning an authentic self, right? Authenticity with our spiritual self. So it's extremely good to help others shine. So because of that, you're getting your authentic self along with your spiritual self, and getting in tune with your higher power. You're able to shine by letting other people shine. So, and that's such a good Leo energy. Leo is so good in bringing out the best in other people because they see the potential and they want to share in that potential. Like, Leos are very about community, right? So with this full moon, all that I've said, it's really, really good for you to have more empathy, have more desire to engage with people, the things that you are creating, the things that other people are creating. It's really good community love around this full moon. So good. It's just so good. On the 8th, it's a really good day for some divination. So, in particular, the pendulum. So I will be on the 8th, or around that week of the 8th, I will be posting a video of how to work with a pendulum. I do have some other divination videos. I think I have how to do tasseomancy. Don't know if I have runes, but I definitely want to do that this year. So try to integrate how I read certain things, but pendulums I love working with. I will be offering pendulums and their boards in my shop later this month. So if you're interested in learning, definitely go onto my Etsy, it'll be below, and grab one of those, and then we can kind of do that exercise together, because it's so useful. And once you really gain a relationship with a pendulum or any of your divinational tools, it really is such a good guidance, but you have to trust in it and you have to build that relationship, and we'll talk about that on the 8th. So the 13th is last quarter, so it's a good time to do some cord cutting. I think it's in the Witch's Moon that I have a demonstration on cord cutting. Let me know if you guys want me to just do a full-on dedicated video on cord cutting, because I have other discussions on other apps, and it's a very frequent question that I get. So if you guys are interested in cord cutting, just a video dedicated to that, let me know below. But the 13th is really good for that. Release what no longer serves you, right? It's just that time. We're now gaining momentum. We're now seeing our true potential. We're seeing the light. We're being inspired. If nothing inspires you, it doesn't have to be negative. Even if nothing, you look at something and Marie Kondo it and it just doesn't bring you joy, release it. If you feel that you have tension, or you have a relationship with someone and it just brings you endless anxiety, you need to cut that cord. So it's really good to do that in the last quarter of the month, or the last quarter of the moon in this month. So there may be some conflict on letting things go. Use momentum to start the process of spring cleaning in your mind. Rely on the moon sign rather than your sun sign. We're always, talking about like our sun sign, but you have 2 other signs. Rely on those signs to kind of get you the help you need to cord cut. All right, so 2/17, woo, is the next Witches Market. I had so much fun with Regina from the Cosmic Cauldron. We had a blast. That was really successful, very successful first Witches Market. Thank you all who came, supported, bought some things, came in to chat, then left. Like, your support comes in many ways. It comes in purchasing products. It comes in just sharing our post and sharing an Instagram. It was very, very fun. And it was my first one. I was very nervous, but it was great. So on the 17th, we'll have our new Witches Market with our new highlighted shop of the month, but I'm not going to say that just yet. Watch out for those posts. I may just do it on the full moon, because it's a good time to kind of do some little sneak peeks. So you'll see who that shop is in a little bit. I'm really excited. Okay, so on 2/18, we have an Aquarius-filled day. I just love me some Aquarians. But for the activity that I have for today is to go out and really look at the trees that are in your surrounding area. This is the life force of your land. And it's really nice to go out there and see what kind of trees are they? What do they mean spiritually? How can I work with these trees in my practice? Are there any fallen branches that you can maybe make a wand out of? Are there any fallen leaves that you can flatten and stick into your grimoire and say, this is an oak tree. An oak tree means this to me in my practice. And it's a beautiful way to connect with the ground and that energy, especially in February with Imbolc, kind of that growth of the land. It's really nice to pay homage to trees, flowers, and if you're in an urban area, things that you can resonate, that you can take and do like a little bit of field study with. Perfect time for that. Okay, so up next we have the goddess. And the goddess this month, it's very different. And I definitely want to incorporate goddesses from a lot of different traditions, religions, pantheons, and things like that. So I decided to do the Hindu goddess Ganga, which is very, very interesting. So Ganga stands for purity. Bathing in the river Ganges, or you can just say Ganga, because the river Ganga is really the goddess personified, right? So bathing in the Ganges can clear one of sins. The river, again, is Ganga personified. So the lore has it that King Shantanu was deeply in love with Ganga and wanted to marry her. He first saw her by the river Ganga and saw her incredible beauty. The woman was the river Ganga in human form. For her hand, Ganga had one condition of accepting marriage. So Shantanu was never to ask her anything or any questions about her decisions or stop her from doing something. It's just like, when I read that, I'm like, that's so amazing. I wish that I could tell my husband, like, you can marry me, but you can't ask me any questions about anything that I want to do, and you can't stop me from doing anything. I feel like that's partially true because he's very supportive, but it's just hysterical. So if he broke his vows, Ganga would leave him forever, which she actually ultimately did. So in the kingdom of Hastinapur, and the king Shantanu was overjoyed when their first child was conceived. The next morning, King Shantanu saw that Ganga took her first newborn to the river Mahabharata. I'm sorry if I'm like really trying hard to remember how I heard it. So what's interesting is that Ganga would do this 7 more times. Every time that she had a newborn, she took it from Shantanu, she went to the river, and then she drowned them. And it's at when while I was reading this and haven't really thought upon it, it was just so sad, and I'm like, do I really want to highlight this goddess? But I think it's worth still looking into it and deep diving, because you'll see for this month, the momentum comes with a lot of water magic and water energy. So the fact that she's using the river, which is her personified, to do this is pretty interesting. Ganga drowned her children as this was a curse from her previous birth. The curse of mortality and not godly. So Ganga drowned her children to break the curse and free them from this curse as a living mortal, but as how they should be as a higher power. Now, when I read this, it's so polarizing, right? Because the fact that you can do such an inhumane thing and just such a terrible thing it's really it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow, but we have to remember that Ganga at this point was a goddess. Like, she's a god. She's very much on a higher vibrational being. She's not mortal. So if you were to think, like all of us, like this is just like really going deep down into spirituality. What we are is just a meat suit. Like, this is a temporary vessel of the enriched life that we are still here to go and lead. So this is very temporary, and while this is a short ride, this isn't like pure ecstasy, right? This life isn't. We are destined to be more, right? We are destined to live on a higher vibration, and this is a temporary form. So if you were a god or if you were a goddess and you knew that your children were also meant to be gods and goddesses, and they were cursed with just living a simple human life and nothing more, what would you do? It's like, as a mom, as a mother too, it's again, it's such a polarizing thing, because I would never want to drown any of my children, but at what cost would I keep them alive? That's a really hard and fascinating thing to think about when it comes to Ganga, which is why we're going to go deep. Let's just talk about it for this month. So, very interesting. So, Ganga had an eighth son, Bhishma. So Bhishma, this was a son that broke King Shantanu's just vows. He was just like, I cannot take you, keep just murdering our children and drowning our children. So he told Ganga that he didn't want her to drown. He forbid it. So that was what broke their vows. With that, Ganga did not drown her eighth son, but he became mortal. And she actually left Shantanu and took Bhishma with her and really did the best that she could to give Bhishma a mortal life. And I know there's a lot more to like Hindu traditions and the lore of Ganga, but I'm really probably just skimming the surface. But it's very, very interesting that she ended up leaving him, and Shantanu was without Ganga and was without his eighth son at the end of the day. Ganga was to be casted to the earth, right? So she did not want to come down and live that. She's just like, I do not want to live that mortal life. I'm not trying to do this. So she said that if she was to be casted to the earth, she would just abolish the earth. Like she had wanted nothing to do with it. Of course she doesn't. She is a goddess. So, however, to help her out, Shiva came to provide protection for the earth, and by calming Ganga down, he was able to trap her into his like hair, into his like locks. So Ganga stood there until she was in the right place to do what she had to do on earth. It was a calming thing. I don't think it was done like maliciously or without her consent. So he would let Ganga out in small spurts. And by doing this, it became small streams until she was the actual river to flow through all three worlds. So she is known for the river to flow through heaven, earth, and hell. And that's a powerful thing for Ganga. And by Shiva allowing her to kind of leave his hair, that's where rivers came into. So Ganga was able to help mankind thereafter and liberate the souls of ancestors by releasing their ashes into the river Ganga. And that's why Ganga is the goddess personified, because that river was made of her when she was released out of Shiva's locks, which is so incredible. So interesting. But what that says is, now we're going into the water type of vibe that I wanted to work on this month. February is definitely water, like the element of water is very, very strong with this and with momentum, right? Water is about that free forming and knowing thyself and things like that. So I love the story of Ganga and how it relates to the momentum and how it relates to rivers and streams and things like that for this month. So, with that being said, we have our crystals of the month. So the crystal is a water crystal, and it's the beautiful, oh my God, I love dream amethyst. My favorite stone is smoky quartz. So I just love dream amethyst. So that's our crystal of the month. So banded chevron or dream amethyst we have here. This one is the only one that I have left available in my shop. I'm sure that I will carry some more, but I've been getting some other things, some new stuff for the shop. But this tower is beautiful. So this is called either a chevron, because they have little chevrons, a banded, or what I like to call it, dream amethyst. So dream amethyst is a beautiful, highly vibrational, a powerhouse of a stone. And the reason why is because it's made up of 3 stones. So if dream amethyst, I believe if it doesn't have these 3 elements, it really shouldn't be called a dream amethyst banded chevron, because that's what makes its composition. So the dream amethyst is made up of amethyst, obviously. It has bands of clear quartz, and then it's finished off with smoky quartz, or it can have smoky quartz banded in it. Like how amazing is that? So let's break that down. So dream amethyst is said to be 600 times more powerful than the average amethyst and is a positivity powerhouse. It connects to your higher self with the clear quartz and is a receptor of negative energy and omitting positive energy with the smoky quartz, all around being wrapped into that spiritual awakening that is of the amethyst. So all of those three real nice energies all wrapped up into one. All three stones are integrated within the dream amethyst. It is associated with water, and I chose the banded amethyst as it helps to get all of your collective thoughts into motion. It's associated with the third eye, so it's an excellent amplifier and to power up your gifts to achieve your higher potential. So this is good to hold in your hands like during meditation. Again, it's associated with your third eye and it unlocks that potential. So if you are wanting to ride with us with the momentum and to be, starting to work those plans into action, this is a perfect stone because it's going to give you that powerhouse to, with a smoky quartz, to get that negativity and help you unlock those potentials and unblock those blockages. So really, really beautiful. It also helps in fighting like addiction. So if you are really in a rut with that, you can always leave that there. But this is good to like leave in your creative space. Like if you are creating something, planning something, leave this on your desk. I leave a dream amethyst either in my pillow or right next to my work computer because it's such a good, high vibing, positive, and it's all about momentum and that potential in achieving what I want to. So perfect for this month. And again, this will be available in my shop if anyone's interested. Big tower, like super beautiful big tower. All right, so what I'm really excited about for the spell work is doing waterfall magic. And if you ever heard of, I've never heard of waterfall magic actually until last month when I was doing research for this month. It's just so beautiful. So I'm gonna show you some footage of the waterfall that I went to. This is the Bush Kills waterfall that's in my area. It's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So what is waterfall magic? It represents the flow of our energy. It's the consistency of constantly being pushed through rocky and uneven terrain, but remaining steadfast. It's ever moving. So it's that momentum of that water that we're looking for. You're working with water and the earth elements at the same time. So our mind, our heart, and the rest of our entire body is obviously made up of water. The Earth's surface is also made up of mostly water. So in essence, we are surrounded by water all day, every day, within ourselves and outside of ourselves. Also, waterfalls physically sound and feel heavy, right? Which can encapsulate the emotional capacity of the water element, heavy and deep. It's truly a magical experience. When the water crashes at the bottom and you close your eyes and you feel a spritz of water hit your face, in that moment it's true release. And if you have ever been to a waterfall, you'll feel that force. It's just like it's an unexplainable type of like wave of energy that you feel when the water crashes. It's such a powerful thing. Waterfalls are such a powerful both air and earth element energy. So waterfalls can also represent chaos and order, right? So the patterns and different flows that hit the rock formations as it falls and crashes, but then are created into order with rivers and streams. So in essence, we need these rough and disassociated feelings to put things in order, which is so true. So how can we celebrate water magic? If you are like me, I'm really, really blessed to have a waterfall that's in my area. So I can just go to the waterfall, be at the base, and kind of just close my eyes and just feel that energy, feel that spritz of the water, that momentum of the water. And if you are allowed to cultivate the water from the pool, then definitely do so. And bring it back to your home, and then it's a beautiful offering for your altar. But never, never take anything from nature, especially something like that, a waterfall that's so powerful and so calm at the end. Always leave something behind, whether that's a blessing, a prayer, or what's really nice is to even take with you some of the natural water from your area. So go to one of the rivers by my house. Take some of that water, bring it to the waterfall, and dump it into the pool, because then it's a whole 360 moment, right? You're taking from what the waterfall gave and bringing it back to the waterfall. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. So that's the first way you can practice waterfall magic, is physically being there, feeling the power, and doing some meditation and bringing some water back. The second way is to take a spiritual shower. So not in a spiritual shower where you're letting the water hit you first. In this way, again, you want to mimic a waterfall, which it is still water falling. So if you stand back before you go into under the shower head, let the water kind of spritz your face as if you were at the actual waterfall. And then kind of think of that bright white light, let it come down. And then once you feel that you're ready to kind of take your shower, or if you've meditated, and once you feel calm, step in under the shower head and let the water kind of take and wash away the rest of your stress away. It's a beautiful way to do a shower ritual using that waterfall magic. And the third way that you can practice waterfall magic is at your sink. So you can do a really awesome meditation while washing dishes. Like, have you ever heard of someone, or do you meditate while washing dishes? It may sound silly, but thousands of us do it, and it's really actually amazing. So when you are washing dishes, what you want to do is, obviously, the physical cleaning of your dishes should be on autopilot, right? So you should be looking enough where you know that your dishes are being cleaned, being washed. But the magic of this is that while you are doing that, you're basically having an outer body experience. Though you are concentrating on washing dishes, you should be hyper focusing on the water, right? The water that's falling from the faucet. What type of noises do you hear, right? Like, hyper focus your sound to the water. Like, how does it sound when it hits glass? How does it sound when it hits your ceramic plates? How does it sound when it hits your metal pots? All these sounds are different, and it's the water that's coming from the faucet, which is hard, trickling through your dishes and then draining down. It's the same cycle. It's all waterfall magic. So think on that and meditate while you're doing dishes. It's such an awesome feeling. Both spiritual showers and meditating while you're washing dishes are awesome feelings, and you will leave, once you're done, just feeling a little bit rejuvenated. Okay, so we're coming towards the end of the video. So the last couple of things is activities. So again, you can identify trees in your area this month. You can bake herbal bread during the beginning of the month to represent Imbolc. You can dress white candles. That's for Imbolc or Candlemas or things like that. You can use ritual oil and stuff like that. Make a Brigid's Cross, which you can still do that. Just because it's not the first doesn't mean that you can't celebrate Imbolc for the rest of the week. It's a seasonal thing. It's what we feel in here. It's not just one day. So I will most certainly be celebrating Imbolc for the rest of the week. Our coven and I are getting together this weekend to celebrate Imbolc. It's just a really good, feel-good time of the month. It doesn't have to just be subjected to one day, and that's really important to know. So if you miss out, don't feel like you've missed out if you were really busy yesterday. Just keep going, and it still matters. So create an Imbolc tarot spread. If you haven't done so, do one tonight, and then really create that tarot spread for the rest of the month. And then burn dragon's blood as an amplifier. Anything as an amplifier is great today because of that Leo full moon. And then herbs that you can kind of mix with dragon's blood that will be so amazing is sandalwood, pine, and roses. All of those herbs are great herbs to work with, whether you're dressing candles, making oils, putting them in your salts when you consecrate your tools. Any of the herbs, sandalwood, pine, rose, and rose is that really deep, like inside, like kind of introspective work, really good for Imbolc. So rose, really good. It would probably be top of my list, on top of sandalwood and pine. And then the colors, of course, are white, blue, and green. So the green, because the green is starting to come out, the white symbolizing the snow, and then the blue is symbolizing the beautiful water that we're working with this month. And that's it for the month. I hope that you loved this. I hope that you found it really useful and that you can incorporate some of these ideals and practices throughout the month. And don't forget that I will be posting a bunch of stuff that I spoke about this month too, so that way it can help you kind of bring this into your practice. So on to the next one. See you soon, guys. Bye.
I'm slowly fading through the smoke. I can't hear